Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Homes on Homes podcast. Today, I want to talk about your health, including my health. I just turned 62, and there's things that I'm looking at, and what am I doing right, and what am I doing wrong? I have brought in Dr. Mike and Dr. Vic. And Dr. Mike, you're a natural ND.
Yes, sir.
And Vic, you are an MD.
Yes, sir.
What does that make me? General contractor? GC. Everyone says when you got to take vitamins. You're lacking vitamin D. You're lacking vitamin C. And does that work? Going to the store or the drugstore and buying vitamins and taking vitamins. Does that work? Vitamins, I was told that if whatever your body doesn't need, you pee it out.
You take a vitamin and say, hey, I heard I got to take vitamin C. And you go take a vitamin C. You're not feeling better. You go take a multivitamin. You're not feeling better. That vitamin, and let's say you get the top vitamins. Let's say, like Dr. F said, let's say you get the active forms, because there's inactive forms and then there's almost like readily available digestible forms, meaning that if your genetics, let's just say, you're not able to metabolize and break down the vitamins to its active form, let's give you the one that's ready so that if you take it, it activates. That's what active forms mean, okay? That's why we look at our genetics. We know who can take the active forms, we know who can't, but we do it directly in the vein, in the venous system, and we give the active forms in the venous system. But the most important question is, what is the state of the gut of the individual taking the vitamin? See, because gut health is where the absorption of these minerals, so like you mentioned, well, you take a multivitamin and then you just pee the rest out. Actually, you're going to pee it all out if your gut is not healthy, and especially if leaky gut is there. Now, leaky gut intestinal malabsorption is real. This is from chronic toxicities, usually mast cell activation syndrome, which is MCAS. This is usually exposure to toxic mold, chronic Lyme, infection, Bartonella, all this kind of stuff. Or maybe even if you're just continually taking antibiotics because you were unwell for a certain amount of time, your body and your gut sort of starts deteriorating, and the amount of availability that you can bind these vitamins becomes really low. So you don't bind the vitamins very well. So let's just take that out of the question. So first off, we want to know the gut health of our patient.
Sure.
So we find this out. We say, okay, look, gut health is not well in this patient. Looks like we're going to have to take matters into the intravenous. And we do various tests to see if this is safe and if it's good, kidney function.
Yeah, you bypass the gut.
We bypass the gut, we go right into the venous system, and we give the vitamins like that nurse mentioned to you, and we tailor an IV concoction that's tailored for you. What is highly, very popular out there is something called a Meyers Cocktail. Meyers Cocktail, which was formulated by an MD, Dr. Meyers, in 50 plus years ago. He had a chronic slew of patients coming in who were chronically ill, and he couldn't figure them out. He couldn't understand how to get them well. So what he did is he started mixing some IVs, putting B12, magnesium, calcium, potassium, B12, B complex, B6, B5. I think he even put some amino acids in there, some selenium. And then he made this concoction, and vitamin C, and he made this concoction called Meyers Cocktail. And it's like a formula, and it's like a recipe. We have it at our office. We do it as well. It's very popular. And he would give it to all his fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, just patients like we talked about in that gray area who don't feel well. And he had an office that was like full of patients because all he had was these IVs, and he was just doing all these IVs, and he was getting patients better. And then that's how the birth of IV vitamin therapy came. And then it hit California.
50 years ago.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, they were using glass back in the day.
I only heard of it recently.
Back in the day, they were you remember, I don't know if you remember this, but the IV bottles were glass. Do you remember?
To wash out the milk jug. I'm kidding. I don't remember they were glass.
They used to be glass. Yeah. So they used to be glass. Actually, they're bringing the glass back, interestingly enough. That's something that's coming later.
Is that too because of plastic bags?
Yes, sir.
So more environmentally friendly?
Microplastics.